Yeah, why don't we go ahead and get started? First thing is call the meeting to order and approval of the meeting minutes from November 5th meeting. That was the last meeting. So do we have any discussion on the minutes? Anybody have any questions of Kathy's capabilities of
Exquisite minute taking.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second, anybody?
I'll second.
Motion made second. All in favor, say aye.
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 So moved, so moved. Okay, the most important thing that we've got to do tonight, because there's a time setting on it, is the meeting schedule for 2021, which Kathy had sent out to us. And if you have that in front of you, again, it's the Thursdays, the first Thursdays of every month. 7:30, the same thing. You have anybody that wants to change that, or?
I'm good with it.
I'm good.
Okay, is
Do
everybody
we need
okay
to-
with it?
Yeah, do we need to approve it?
Yep, we have a motion to approve the
I'll
meeting
approve.
schedule.
Motion.
Okay,
Second.
motions are made. Hey, Hank, how are you? Just been a motion to approve the meeting schedule for 2021. Do you have any concerns or questions about it? Okay. You're on mute, by the way. There you are.
Sorry, I had my mouth full.
Okay.
What
You have
was the
any-
question?
You have any motions on the table to approve the meeting schedule for 2021 that Kathy passed out, basically the first Thursday of every month, 7:30, the same as it has been?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made second, all in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed, so moved. Okay. The elections of officers. Would anybody like the esteemed pleasure of being chairman of this committee?
I'll nominate Bill Crady.
Oh, my God.
I'll
Uh,
second that.
Oh, geez. No competition? Come on, come on. Okay. Nomination made, all in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
So moved. Okay, now
Welcome
we
to
need
another year. You'll get a
Okay.
plaque in town hall soon.
Thank you, thank you. We got enough plaques. We need to elect a vice chairman. I would like to nominate Sonny to return as vice chairman.
Second.
Okay, do we have any other competition? Anybody else want to?
Yeah, please feel free. I'm more than happy to have competition as well.
No other offerings. We have a motion, name on the table for vice chairman, Sonny. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. Welcome, Sonny.
Thanks, Bill. Same to you.
Happy
Thanks,
anniversary.
everybody.
Yeah. Those are the only two offices we need. We don't have any money, so we don't need treasurer, and Kathy is an excellent secretary, so
Sure.
we're not looking to make any changes there, so we'll move on. The Rockwell School, Johnson, we had the town, I think I mentioned, we had the presentation in the selectmen on the financing, and there's still favor to pursue a tax exempt lease purchase agreement because it maximizes the revenue flow to the town. Marty apparently hasn't found any issues with doing it. There's so far he feels that there is not a need for a town meeting or referendum on it, that it can be handled as a action on the selectmen meeting and talked to Matt and, he says, still waiting for Marty to give a final sign off, but he may be forced to hand by calling a special meeting of the Board of Selectmen when he's thinking to approve the project, financing to be by tax and police purchase agreement, and so we could move forward with it. So, waiting to hear the final on that. But everything looks good in that fashion to move forward and get the project going. So does anybody have any questions or concerns or discussions on it?
No.
Okay, the next thing we had on the agenda was a fleet study where Peter has generously offered to do a study pro bono for the town. Matt said, I'd asked Matt if he could, would like to attend this meeting and we can discuss it. And he says, no, it wouldn't be necessary. He says he believes that while he really appreciates Peter's offer and he thinks Peter should be compensated for the work that he does. So what he is looking to do is to come up with the financing for the study between the town and he's going to be talking to the Board of Education about sharing the cost of it. So,
All right, I'll charge the town $1.
no, he says there's got to be fair compensation. So he's going to get back to us.
I don't want to do it for compensation.
Well, I know that. I appreciate it, but he feels that it's important.
Can we do it as
compensated?
Can we do it as a committee?
If you want to go ahead and do the work for nothing, and
I mean, listen, it's simple business analysis of looking at the vehicles, how much money we spend each year to keep each vehicle functioning, and whether it still makes sense or it makes sense to scrap it and come up with a plan so that every year we don't have to hope there's money for a vehicle. When we buy a new recreation vehicle this year, we're going to know in 7 years or 5, it goes away, regardless of whether it's in mint condition. Even better, we get more money. So it's a very simple thing. It's analysis of current practices and recommending. I mean, honestly, I think if it was 10 hours, it'd be a lot.
Well, the thing is, Matt's got it because you got to
Right.
have access to the police department and to
I mean,
to
you've already
everybody.
if you remember a year ago when we started this conversation, they coughed up the entire fleet pretty quickly, but there was nothing to do with it without understanding maintenance records and fuel costs. So
You have to
that
dig
kind
through all
of
that.
right. So that's the meat and potatoes kind of stuff, is really understanding every vehicle has a value at the beginning of life and end of life, and you want to minimize the beginning of life and maximize the end of life. So
I understand, but
I mean, if the committee wants to
we
dedicate half an hour,
we can't direct the finance committee, finance board and the purchasing to give you all those records and all that, because somebody's got to go in and dig them out, and there's a considerable amount of effort doing that. You'd have to have access to do that, and so what I suggest is we give Matt a little bit more time.
Sure. And what I would tell you then is, rather than myself do it, there is and avoid any potential issues. Being a town resident, looking at the police department, I would say that there is a formal proposal from the former fleet manager of Cincinnati that was presented to the committee
Which we gave to the board.
Right.
We gave the finance board.
We should consider a negotiation on that. Personally, I think it's a lot cleaner if the town insists on compensation.
Well, I will talk to Matt again to convey that to him and see how he wants to go.
Right. Or
okay.
let Public Works do it themselves.
I don't think, yeah, Kathy, have you got room to do that?
Yeah, no. But there is a new director, just so you know.
Right, I
Oh, there
know
is?
that. Yeah.
Who's the new public works director?
His name is Eric Swenson. So he
He
might,
replaced the guy who had a problem.
yeah. So you might want to reach out to him at some point, just to introduce yourself. Or,
Yeah, I mean,
Why don't you email us his contact information?
I mean,
Okay.
I'd love to just have a conversation before someone knocks on his door to look to see what's going on.
I think it would be good just for him to actually talk
Yeah,
to Bill, just so that he's aware of the projects
yeah.
in the past,
And,
what's
you
to
know,
expect. for
he
the
may
future.
already have his own ideas on the same thing, and
Mhm.
it may happen internally, which is the best way.
I will do it. I'll send it out to you guys.
All right, cool.
Okay, great. And then I'll talk to Matt about,
Yeah,
you suggested.
and I can hop on a call pretty much late any afternoon.
okay. Okay. So is there any more discussion on the fleet study? No, that's about all we've got. It's not a
Oh.
very active
Electric
time, and
cars for everyone.
yeah, well, and not being able to get out and do everything. There is no opposition that I've come across to it. Everybody thinks it's a great idea, and they'd like to do it, like to move forward with it. It's just the situation and things going on, and more attention is being paid to other issues right now than they are to these types of things.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are we looking at strictly electric or hybrid also?
I think when it comes to police vehicles at this point in time, the only thing that the police department would accept would be a hybrid, likely the Explorer Pursuit. That's been certified by Ford and Michigan State Police. And it's not really about, for me, the thought of going fully electric may not be realistic. It was more, if you weren't in one of the meetings, Matt had inquired about, getting an electric vehicle perhaps for himself. And having gone down that road, it became a discussion of whether this is just going to be a halo vehicle for the town, or, if we want to consider going electric, even for part of the fleet, then we got to understand what our costs are to at least benchmark it.
Yeah. No,
And-
because hybrid is fine because we got a lot of hills. You're going to save on brakes. You're going to save.
Yeah.
You're going to regenerative braking, so you'll save on fuel.
It's so if you go to the Ford website, the police vehicle website, they have a whole analysis that I shared with the committee last year. It'll save on average $1,500 a year in fuel alone.
Per
But
vehicle.
yeah, but there is a premium, and PD has 20 Explorers, and no one's suggesting get rid of them now, but start thinking about what they cost now, so that when you start looking at hybrids and electrics, you have a benchmark. Otherwise, it's just going green for the sake of going green, which I don't have a problem with, but it's not good business. And if we do go, as I was discussing then, what can the town's infrastructure handle? You put 10 Teslas fast charging in a parking lot, who knows what's going to happen? And as I mentioned, I'm involved in the United States Postal Service next generation vehicle, and they are going electric. So the town may not even have a say when the post office starts plugging in 10, 50 to 75 kilowatt chargers every night. Where's that juice coming from? So the whole electric thing takes you down a rabbit hole that's got to be really thought out and planned, because it could get expensive. Think about, just all of that charging.
Well, that's, that, it is very compatible with what I believe one of our ultimate goals from original plan is to put a microgrid up at the
Right.
school park now with the police station there. And if you have
Yep.
most of the vehicles would be police vehicles in terms of numbers, and being able to tie in the solar that we're doing, plus fuel cell, whatever, it can be, a way to address the economics. So they go hand in hand. In other words,
Right.
the town is a positioning to be in a very good, very good position to have that type of scenario.
Right.
Where
I mean, we're seeing the utilities right now begging for more electric vehicles so they can put in more infrastructure. And, they're throwing in, the $5,000 chargers, the pedestals, just to, get more customers.
Well, you said vehicles charging at night, which is the lower demand part of the summer months.
Well, what's going to happen with the post office is the post office is going to have no less than 50,000 electric vehicles deployed starting in 2022. And they've contracted a couple of companies to manage the charging. So it will be optimally charged, all computerized. So if 2 o'clock in the morning there's a drop, the vehicle, if it's plugged in, will suddenly get a little juice.
well, one of the things that has happened in the utility industry is you're familiar with the demand charge that's on your bill, the Eversource demand charge.
Right.
That used to be that the demand charge was established during what was called the on-peak or the demand period, which was 12 o'clock to 12 noon in the summer to 6 in the evening. But that has changed as all the utilities have now changed to it doesn't make any difference what time of day you peak, that utility services you peak on. If it's at midnight, then that's your peak demand. That's going to be your demand charge.
Right.
So, it's those types of things. Now, in addition to that, you're also looking at the impact of the microgrid and storage batteries, solar and storage batteries, this type of thing. Utilities have a program, Connected Solutions, where a battery, if you have the battery and you discharge it when they hit their peak on the system, on the overall system, whatever you get paid on an annual basis. Well, it's actually this summer $200 a kW for the battery. So when you start thinking about that, there's a lot of subsidy money that is coming with batteries. So again, we originally contracted with Amoresco for the solar and the landfill, and they also included in that was the microgrid approach. Never could get any grant money from DEEP to support the microgrid, which was the original intention. But I've asked them to relook and see, if there's a possibility of getting grant monies. Because if we could get grant monies for a microgrid, things could start coming together with the subsidies that we can get for the solar and the batteries and if something comes from the microgrid. So, there's a potential for that. And if that transpires, then the electric vehicle becomes a very, very viable option for the town. So there's a lot going on in the utility business.
And then wait till Hart goes electric and they put 150 kilowatt chargers on each bus.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
Just moving in that direction.
It is 100%. mandated all around the world, and both coasts are mandating EVs, zero emissions in the city centers. So hybrids are a path to it, but ultimately hybrids are too expensive and they're too complicated from a maintenance standpoint. In the bus world, they failed miserably. They're pretty unreliable. New York City literally parked them all. At one point, they had 40 of the BAE hybrids. They couldn't get their money back. They converted them back to diesels. They were so bad. So it's full electric right now. And as the battery factories are starting to pop up in Southern Michigan, Illinois, Nevada, it's going to become a lot more real.
Okay, but what happens when we have a blackout that goes on for a week?
You can't charge your car.
Well, that's what the nice thing about the microgrid and batteries, storage batteries,
Right.
and
Now, most Tesla, BMW, Mercedes all sell these battery packs in your house for just that. And there are now portable fast charging packs that are handheld, like your jump packs. It's like your mother always told you, make sure the tank is full. It's a storm tonight.
I was wondering what happens when you run out of gas, with an electric. It's not like you can just pour stuff in the tank.
Right. So I will tell you, I've tested a vehicle down to stall. And the unfortunate part in a bus is that kicks in the parking brake. And then you're struggling to get it across the parking lot to the charger. Been there, done that.
need a long extension cord.
No, got underneath, just gave a rip on the parking brake cable and was able to push it. It was a small bus. It was 20 feet long. So, and that was on the Facebook campus. So, okay.
Well, some things to ponder, looking forward. So,
And I guess we do it next year now.
could get interesting, but I will convey to Matt what you
Sure.
suggested,
Yeah, shoot me an email.
and we'll go from there.
All right, cool. All right. Happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
Happy Hanukkah and everything in between. Cheers.
Enjoy, but stay safe.
Yes. Stay alone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Do I have a motion to
Motion to adjourn.
adjourn? Motion made. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? So moved. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Happy
Hi,
holidays.
everybody.
Happy holidays. Bye.
Bye-bye.